Alright, Tim's Cougar. Gonna tear down the Holley double pumper. You can see right there, maybe 4742, 3403. Alright, it's pretty typical Holley. Nothing out of the ordinary. So we're going to take out our bowl screws. Going to undo this crossover here. You know. Go get some chip done. Look at all that sediment back there in our float bowl. This is the front fuel bowl. I'm going to pull this accelerator pump off. And I'll pull needle and seat and everything out. And we will check our metering block as well. So our power valve here is blown out. So that would definitely make us run fat because it's just dumping fuel at that point. So we're no longer an enrichment valve, we're just bleh. You can see the rubber in there is torn. It's hard to see it, but you can see how it's got like that ripple in it. So that would definitely add to being rich. All right, so here's our float from the front. Everything looks good there, because it definitely wasn't a stuck float how it was fueling. Definitely had to do something with that power valve. I want to check out the other side as well. Maybe the vacuum diagram itself is no es bueno. But there's a float. Right, so here's our front fuel bowl. Accelerator pump. Maybe the check valve is bad, which would make it dump fuel as well. So we're going to take this apart, see what we got going on here. Alright, so being an old style Holley, it has the check ball instead of the little orange plasticky thing. So everything's actually good there. So I'm happy with that. It actually had a newer style diaphragm on it, which is good. So somebody's been in here at least within the last 20 years. There is our spring, our housing, all that stuff's good. All right, so here's our rear bowl. It's a little scuzzy, but otherwise good. Everything seems so far so good. We're gonna pull our needle and seat and float. And here's our metering block. It also looks pretty good. We'll get that popped off and go through that here in a second. Okay, well here's a little issue. Note that says H110. So this is a high flow needle and seat, which is for race applications. It's not for street or anything normal. That definitely wouldn't help us, because that would increase our fuel flow, which could help sink our float a little bit, which would put us towards flooding. That's not good. These are for super late models, high powered drag cars, etc. There's no need to be running this in a fairly stock 428 Cougar. So here's our rear float. Looks like it's been soldered before. Oh, come on, camera, get your life together. Yeah, it looks like it's been soldered before. I might just buy a set of floats for this, just to play it safe. They're cheap. So the choke assembly, took the spring out and all that good stuff. It seems to work perfectly. It was all the way backed off, which is perfectly fine because it was pig rich anyway. I mean, it was 1,000 degrees yesterday as well out, so Wasn't the most important thing for yesterday, but we do want this baby to work. But there's everything. Everything's there. So I'm going to pull this off. And we're going to pull the vacuum diaphragm. All right, got our choke assembly off. It's all bagged up, ready to go get cleaned. I've already pulled our E-clip here. Getting ready to pull off our vacuum diaphragm. All right, so that's definitely not the little gasket seal that's supposed to be there. That definitely appears it could be a vacuum leak as well, which wouldn't help our situation. But there's our vacuum diaphragm. It's off. I'm gonna undo the top 4 screws here, pull it apart real quick, and then we'll get the rest of our main body apart. Well, there's definitely a problem. There's carbon, burnt fuel carbon, in where the diaphragm is, which is also torn as well. That wouldn't help us either. So here is our main body for the carb, our main body, our throttle plate. That's our main body. Ay. It's been busy today. This actually looks very good. I really don't see anything out of the ordinary here. So I think we are good. Now, onto our main body. We still do need to take squirters out. This does not look to be the correct gasket. That would make it run very funny. 'Cause note the marks here. There's soot. Yeah, that's not the right gasket. So that would explain the enrichment for sure. I hate it when I find out that people didn't do their job right. Okay, so last piece. I gotta get in there, pop out that squirter and all of its stuff, and then we are done with teardown. 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag, main body, all ready for a bath.